I had learned that when you want something really good for you, you must work hard for it, or you must pay for it. That men rule by the feebleness of the ruled, and this is just. The triumph of weaklings would not be just. It is amazing how complete is the delusion that beauty is goodness. Your words will either give you joy or give you sorrow, but if they were spoken without regret, they give you peace. A lot of the conflict you have in your life exists simply because you're not living in alignment. You're not being true to yourself. Every immigrant who comes here should be required within 5 years to learn English or leave the country. The life where nothing was ever unexpected, or inconvenient, or unusual. The life without color, pain, or past. Faith is not like a raincoat, only to be worn on drizzly days. Maybe everyone can live beyond what they're capable of. The best index to a person's character is how he treats people who can't do him any good, and how he treats people who can't fight back. When we fail, our pride supports us, and when we succeed, it betrays us. Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. If you start with nothing and end up with nothing, there's nothing lost. He alone is free who lives with free consent under the entire guidance of reason. Good ideas stay with you until you eventually write the story. It's better to have a few faithful friends than numerous shallow friendships. I didn't come here of my own accord, and I can't leave that way. Whoever brought me here will have to take me home. Enchantment lies in everyday moments if you are observant. You will find the key to success under the alarm clock. But you don't have to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. No matter who you are, no matter what you did, no matter where you've come from, you can always change, become a better version of yourself. Art is the social antithesis of society, not directly deducible from it. Sometimes life is too hard to be alone, and sometimes life is too good to be alone. The ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. It isn't what you have, or who you are, or where you are, or what you are doing that makes you happy or unhappy. It is what you think about it. Not every instance requires a response. Truth resides silently in the seat of power. Timid men prefer the calm of despotism to the tempestuous sea of liberty. I could die for you, but I couldn't and wouldn't live for you. What one thinks is right is not always the same as what others think is right. No one can be always right. When you stop complaining about others for not helping you and focus on your efforts, there's no stopping you. Fear can only grow in darkness. Once you face fear with light, you win. Not all can believe anything they want to, because not all have the ability to believe. The seeker embarks on a journey to find what he wants and discovers, along the way, what he needs. This had seemed a safe choice, since to be against the Beatles is to be against life. Without man and his potential for moral progress, the whole of reality would be a mere wilderness, a thing in vain, and have no final purpose. The more you believed in yourself, the more you could trust yourself. The more you trust yourself, the less you compare yourself to others. Deeply respecting yourself is the first step toward having a deep respect for others. If you are still breathing, maybe it is not such a bad day after all. They're just words, and words alone don't really mean anything. It's what you feel and what you believe when you say them that matter. The highest activity a human being can attain is learning for understanding, because to understand is to be free. I cannot trust a man to control others who cannot control himself. Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose. It is amazing what you can accomplish if you do not care who gets the credit. I is for integrity. Be honest with yourself and others. To me, there is nothing complicated about ordinary equality. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. We all know we're one day closer to the end when we wake up in the morning. We just kid ourselves that it's not happening. People don't like to think. If one thinks, one must reach conclusions. Conclusions are not always pleasant. Do not fear the thorns in your path, for they draw only corrupt blood. Youth is easily deceived because it is quick to hope. It's not important whether you lose or win. What is that you participate and play? One fine day your experience will make you win. Don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask, and he will tell you the truth. Your tomorrow depends entirely on what you do today. It is life, I think, to watch the water. A man can learn so many things. It's amazing how quickly nature consumes human places after we turn our backs on them. Life is a hungry thing. You can be young without money, but you can't be old without it. My fake plants died because I did not pretend to water them. I just want someone to hear what I have to say. And maybe if I talk long enough, it'll make sense. Our society is run by insane people for insane objectives. Be thankful for everything that happens in your life. It's all an experience. Great men are like eagles and build their nest on some lofty solitude. And there are really never endings, happy or otherwise. There is force in the universe, which, if we permit it, will flow through us and produce miraculous results. The trick is to enjoy life. Don't wish away your days, waiting for better ones ahead. Dream no small dreams, for they have no power to move the hearts of men. My happiness grows in direct proportion to my acceptance, and in inverse proportion to my expectations. We are seeds as well as parasites to the earth. We can either give or take, depending on our perception of growth. Having nothing to struggle against, thee have nothing to struggle for. In a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. If you want to see a rainbow, you have to learn to see the rain. The only way you can know where the line is if you cross it. Being born is like being kidnapped and then sold into slavery. The moment you stop trying to become a better person is the moment you start to become worse than what you already are. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. Everything has its wonders, even darkness and silence, and I learn, whatever state I may be in, therein to be content. Just because it's fiction doesn't mean it's any less true. People say that life is the thing, but I prefer reading. We all need to be mocked from time to time, lest we take ourselves too seriously. The unhappiest people in this world are those who care the most about what other people think. When I explored my deeper mind, I could understand that my life is only an illusion, an apparent reality. Money is better than poverty, if only for financial reasons. The moment a little boy is concerned with which is a jay and which is a sparrow, he can no longer see the birds or hear them sing. Your body is the church where nature asks to be reverenced. Help others without any reason and give without the expectation of receiving anything in return. Don't step backward toward nothing, step forward towards something. Better awkward steps forward than coward steps backward. Never apologize for showing feeling. When you do so, you apologize for the truth. It is a very funny thing that the sleepier you are, the longer you take about getting to bed. Where wisdom reigns, there is no conflict between thinking and feeling. Anything not worth doing is worth not doing well. Think about it. Don't be discouraged if your effort does not yield desirable result. Good thing take time. Because even if the lie is beautiful, the truth is what you face in the end. The road to enlightenment is long and difficult, and you should try not to forget snacks and magazines. And don't tell me the end justifies the means, because it doesn't. We never reach the end. All we ever get is means. That's what we live with. If you cannot find an element of humor in something, you're not taking it seriously enough. The tragedy of life is what dies inside a man while he lives. No matter what happens, or how bad it seems today, life does go on, and it will be better tomorrow. The terrible thing about the quest for truth is that you find it. We dance round in a ring and suppose, but the secret sits in the middle and knows. Never stop just because you feel defeated. The journey to the other side is attainable only after great suffering.